All right, everyone, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator with Turley 6. We're going to look at the starting our restore here on the Plymouth Barracuda. We're only level 28, so we won't be able to completely store this correctly officially till we can get to 35, unless we buy new parts, but at least 30 we can paint. But I wanted to go ahead and start on a little project today, so let's go ahead and move her over to a rack. We'll put it on lift B here and start taking a look at what we got. Start the process here. Normally what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start taking off the body parts. Really, you don't need it on the lift to do that, but it'll tell me the percentage of what they are. This car doesn't seem like it's missing anything, which is always good. So this is the Plymouth Barracuda 426 Hemi. And I'll know more about the engine. We'll see what we got in there. But so I start taking the car apart. That's the first thing I usually do. To start dismantling it, and it'll tell you once you look in your inventory the percentage of how the what condition it's actually in. But I start stripping the car down. Right now we're unable to repair body parts, which is not till 35. But at 30 we can fix up the actual body or the frame. I don't know what you want to call it. So get everything that we can take off here from the outside down to the frame. You want to leave the tires on right now because you want to be able to take it in and out of the shop until we can do some more stuff with it here. So now we can start taking out the interior. And start looking at some of the condition of this stuff. Now we can buy new items. So when we go through this and start looking at the condition of this car, overall a lot of yellow and green. It's not in horrible condition, which is fantastic. So what we can do is, since we're working on this car, we can put all these parts in their own warehouse. So I can take all these parts and start dropping them in for now. In that warehouse. Now I can also look to see if I was missing a seat or haven't got to the engine stuff yet, but if I was missing a seat, I might have a matching seat that I've picked up out of the barn, or even a couple of the seats that I could put in, or a replacement steering wheel. Like this steering wheel might be a better option. I don't know if it can be put in there. I don't know. I have to check, but that's the idea behind picking up those barn pieces. Now let's go ahead and drain the oil out, and we can go ahead and I think we'll be able to move this after we pull the engine. Not 100% sure, but with the tires on it, I'm hoping we can still move it out in the garage. So let's raise it on up and get the oil drained out of it, so we'll get ready to pull the engine. If you don't drain the oil first, you'll cause a spill. And so there was no oil in it. Double check that. Yeah, so. Okay. Let's see. So we need to unhook the drive shaft. Starter. I'm going to go ahead and take all this off right here for now. Kind of at a weird angle. And these parts are not that expensive to replace for the part of yet or not, we'll see this. I was thinking I might have to unhook the exhaust. So we'll go ahead and take the battery out. Now, once we get level 30, we'll get a battery charger. And we'll just be able to throw that battery on the charger. And that'll make it 100%. Alright, let's see if we can just pull this and we'll see what it tells us here. Okay, it'll let us pull it out. Now we can put this back and I'll show you how to. Now what you want to do is you want to come over to your engine stand and you want to put add engine to crate, and it'll show you what you've got in the crate. So then we can put that engine here so we can really take a look at it. And it's a lot easier to work on them here. Now for the part of this car, let me see what else I can take off in here. Now I'm going to see, I might not be able to. Let me see if I can move this to the garage. And I can. So that'll clear the bay back up. So it's in the garage for now. Now let's start dismantling the engine here. We're going to strip it all the way down. We're going to take it all the way down to the block. These little clips right here are kind of a pain. But it does help to work on it on the engine stand when you're going to tear it all the way down versus trying to work on it in the car. Ignition coil look pretty rough. Alright. Not hard to do this, it's just a little time consuming when you're completely restoring a car. Alright, some of that stuff's gotta. start taking off the valve covers here, and this gets a little tedious when you have to start pulling the push rods and rocker arms and start pulling off out every little spark plug and things. It starts getting a little tedious. This one there does a good job of highlighting it for you, so you're not trying to remember what you took out and what you didn't. Same thing when you go to do the reassemble. You can pull this off. Alright, now we can take this off. Okay. Jump to this side here. We can go ahead and take this exhaust off as well. Again, a little tedious, but all part of the restoration. We're actually getting pretty close now. Oop. Just a couple plugs here. Alright, so to take off take out the pistons and stuff, you gotta rotate the engine over. Is the easiest way to do it, whichever way you prefer. We already took the oil pan off, so now you got to come in here and take these rod caps off and the crankshaft covers. And remember, you're still getting XP for doing this. You're getting 1 XP per part. It's not a lot. It's not the same. You're not going to grind levels on this. This is more of just doing something a little different, entertaining yourself, and it'll be fun once we get her restored and we can go through the different paint schemes and all that. They really do turn out nice, and you can actually take them to the track and drive them, and it's really a nice feature. Really gets more involved with the gameplay versus, just doing oil changes, which is, a good way to grind, but not necessarily. Grinding gets a little old after a while. All right, did I get all of those? I don't know. So now, even from down here, we can start pulling these. Once we got those caps off, I could have brought them across as I went, I guess. It's gonna let me go ahead and pull that out, so I'll take that. Alright, so now I don't think there's anything, once you get down to nothing but the block, you can actually take the block itself. Alright, which is kind of weird, but it's technically still there, but it's not. It's in my inventory. Now, this is why I like to do the repair skill. This is why I like to do the repair skill at 95%. Because what we're going to try to do right now is, and I got 2 points I can use, so we might as well use them as well. Okay, so it gives us a repair skill of 95%. What I'm going to try to do is repair as many items as I can. So there is a cost to that, but not as much as buying them new, obviously. So when I click on the repair bench, it'll pull up parts that I can repair. Okay, all of these parts are able to be fixed. Now, if I fail, you basically lost the part. Okay, but you have a chance. So, is it really trying to worth fix a rod cap and stuff? Probably not. But at 96%, I'm not going to chance it again. That's good enough for me on that one. So I failed whatever that was. The biggest one that I'm hoping that I do well on is the block. Obviously, it's the most expensive piece. Never failed on the block, of course. Alright, so now what we can do is we can look at our inventory and we can see what we failed on, because it'll be very low percentage. Where's the block at? So it's at 1%. So now, and pistons you cannot repair, rings you cannot repair. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on triangle to sell parts. I'm going to sell everything below 15%. I'm going to sell everything below maybe 65%. That's going to sell all of that parts that we just took off that car that we basically could not repair or failed to repair on. Okay. Now, we don't have a block. That would have been at least a good start. So when I go to put this back on there, I don't have the part. It's a V8 OHVC. So there's a OHVL. There's just a regular V8. I don't have it. Okay. So V8 OHVC. So now engine block V8 OHVC right here, $1,850. I get a discount because that's one of the perks that I unlocked. Alright, so we bought that. So we're going to put that on here. Bam. Okay, nice new shiny block. Now, we're going to start trying to put it together slowly but surely and see what parts that we have that are good. Do we have this? Yes. He was able to repair that. Okay, great. there was another one right there, crankshaft right there. Okay, so we do not have that one. So we need a crankshaft V8 OHVC. Normally I like to just type in stuff real quick. Crankshaft V8 OHVC. Drop that in. Oh, did I buy the wrong one? Oh, I bought a crankshaft. I need a camshaft. I bought the same thing we already had. Oops. Okay. Well, we'll put it in. I'll save it for another rebuild. But let's see what. I need a camshaft. Oh, Turley 6. Alright, camshaft. V8 OHVC. Is that what it was? Or just, oh, right there. Okay. Alright, so let's. Okay. Now, I know I need 8 pistons. If you look at it, it's a piston Conrad V8 OHVC. So we're going to put that in. Okay. And then they got special piston rings, looks like. So we're going to get 8 of these. 8 of these. Because those are an item we cannot repair. Drop these in. Now also, when you're rebuilding these, you can go through and look, and there's I'll show you really fast here as soon as I put these in. There is like a hot rod store, a hot rod shop, and some of these parts you can put that's why I like to use what I find on the crates, because you can get like a quality +5, and that's just going to make it a little better. Missing one somewhere. We're not missing one here. Okay. This looks like I was able to fix quite a bit of these caps. We'll just short one of those. I'm not wrapping up rod caps either. Looks like we need 2 rod caps. Not what I was trying to do. And then you know you've got all those internal parts right when it allows you to put the oil pan back on. You don't have one, so. I'm going to go to oil. Oil pan. I need to start remembering it's orange. That'll help me remember it. Put that on. Okay, now we can rotate this thing back upright. Take a look at it here. Nice and shiny. And looking good. And then as we come back, next episode, I'll go ahead and continue to put the engine together. And we'll keep working on it. And then also, once we get to level 30, we'll be able to do a few different things to the car to progress the build. In this simulation, it's not necessarily like real life. Once we get the engine rebuilt, we can go ahead and drop it back in. It won't hurt what we're doing in the game. In real life, it would probably be easier just to put it in probably later or close to the end after everything is done, after the paint work and all that's done. But in the game, obviously, it's a little easier to bypass that. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and we'll see you next time, and we'll continue the rebuild. Thanks for watching.